160 years. That's how long Ataa Ayi is meant to spend behind bars. Once Ghana's most wanted arm robber, now a prison pastor. This is the wild story of a man who lived two completely different lives. Let's get into the story. Raymond Ayite, known across Ghana as Ataa Ayi, was born in Adabraka in Accra. Not much is known about his childhood, but in the late 90s and early 2000s, his name alone could freeze your blood. He was the kingpin of a robbery gang that operated like professionals. Clean, fast, terrifying. Their specialty, they followed people who had just made big cash withdrawals. Then they would rob them at gunpoint, either on the road or in their homes. Some say that they even robbed the pastor inside his own church right after he had collected offerings. Another time, Ataa Ayi tracked a businessman, waited till he got home, attacked him as he opened the gate. No time was too holy, no place was too public for this man. His most infamous heist was back in 1999. His gang stole 12 million old cedis. He kept about 2.5 million for himself. That's the kind of money that gave him, this boldness, but he was reckless as well. What really built his legend was his getaway skills. They said that this man could reverse a stolen car at 100 kilometers per hour through traffic. The police called him a ghost. There were rumors that he used to use juju to disappear. People swore that bullets could not touch him. This man had billboards, whole billboards with his face on them, and still they couldn't catch him. For years he was untouchable until February 2005. It all came crashing down when somebody close to him, his own niece, snitched on him. Police stormed the house where he was hiding. Ataa Ayi was outside, casually hanging clothes. That's how Ghana's most wanted criminal got caught. He was just doing laundry. He was arrested by then police boss, Boachi, and he was taken straight into custody. Within weeks, the trial began. He was hit with multiple charges: robbery, conspiracy, firearm possession. The court did not blink. He was sentenced to 160 years in prison with hard labor. Case closed, right? No. In prison, Ataa Ayi has flipped the script. He claimed he found God, became a born-again Christian, started preaching, and before long, he was appointed as an elder of the Church of Pentecost inside the prison. Not just that, he became the kind of inmate that represents other inmates, helping to resolve disputes, leading services, speaking for other prisoners. The guards have described him as respectful, quiet, obedient. Then came the moment that shook people again. President John Mahama visited Nsawam prison, and Ataa Ayi dropped to his knees and he begged for a presidential pardon. That picture went viral. But the pardon, no, that one never came. Still, prison officials began to say, this man is reformed, he's a model inmate, and that maybe he deserves a second chance. Others were not so sure. Some called it a performance. They said this was the same man who used to ambush drivers with guns. People died during his robberies. Even if he had changed, his victims couldn't come back. So it's only fair that he serves his time. Now, while Ataa Ayi was locked up, another name came up, Yo Asante Ajekyum. He was a motorbike mechanic who used to work on Ataa Ayi's bikes. The police arrested him. They said that he was part of the gang. But here's the twist. Years later, Yo said that the whole thing was fake. The police forced him to pose with old guns. They made him confess, and that they used that to jail him. In 2025, after 22 years in prison, the Court of Appeal agreed. They ruled that there was no real evidence, and he was freed. That raised so many new questions. If somebody close to Ataa Ayi was wrongly jailed, how many others are there? And how many people were genuinely guilty like Ataa Ayi, but now walking around claiming to be reformed? Today, Ataa Ayi is still locked up at Ankafo Maximum Security Prison, still preaching, still hoping for a second chance. He's not just Ghana's most famous criminal. He's one of its most complicated ones. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like true crime videos, don't forget to follow me. I tell these stories all the time. My social media is in my bio. Thank you.